So if we look at this score up here, and this is a dot here, can everybody see that? What I circled, and I've circled that area, it's in red pen, and again, we'll get this a little darker, I think, so that when you present, it's darker. We predicted that that student, and in each dot is a student, we predicted that that student would score about 256, but that student scored below 230. So that student underperformed the model, right? We predicted that the student would perform like 256. The student performed less than 230. Everybody got me on that? Now, what are some reasons as to why that might happen? What are some reasons?
It depends what assessment you use to correlate the two.
Okay. Well, it's fourth grade to fifth grade, right? So we're predicting based on that. What could be a reason why that happens? Okay, it could be the teacher. All right, maybe the teacher that the child had was not very effective, and the child did not learn very much. What are some other reasons?
Absenteeism.
Pardon?
Absenteeism.
Absenteeism. Did you know that attendance is highly correlated with achievement? You got to be there to learn. That's why our truant officers are really critical, okay? Anything that we do, folks, in education can be connected to student learning. Am I right?
Absolutely.
Anything that we do. It's kind of like 6 Degrees to Kevin Bacon. You ever play that? For those of us who are a little older, you know Kevin Bacon, Footloose, whatever. But anyway, so we can connect it. Anything that we do in education, by some degree, we should be able to connect it to student learning while we're doing it. Bus schedules, is that connected to student learning? It is. You got to get them there. You got to get them there on time and safe, right? All right. What's another reason why a student might not have performed as well?
The kid might have been sick.
Might have been sick that day. If they were in middle school, the girlfriend broke up with the boyfriend in the hallway. Things happen like that. In the assessment world, we call that random error. We do. That's what it's actually called. You look it up in a textbook, it's called random error. Okay, anything happens. Okay, child breaks out in the Beverly Hillbillies song during the administration of the assessment. True story. That happened. And when you administer any type of state customized assessment, you have to write down anything weird that happened. They say it in much nicer language, but you write down anything strange that happened. And so the reason is because that can impact a student's capability or what they are able to show that they know. Okay? So we have those issues. Yes, sir?
On that scatter plot, could that be considered an outlier from a statistical standpoint?
Yeah, but we're going to look at these, how we kind of put them together to talk about that. Now, conversely, we have another one over here, and if I can find my little, here we go.
Was it the same type of assessment? In other words, was the format of the test that was given in fourth grade to get the 260 the same type of assessment given again
Yes,
in fifth
it is
grade?
the state reading assessment that is given in fourth grade, the state reading assessment that is given in fifth grade. Now, what it does not mean is that you can't say that if a child increases, 50 or 75 scale score points, that they have grown a year. We don't have, in this particular state, we didn't have a vertically equated scale, okay? But with the value-added model, you're factoring in these various components to predict how the students would perform the next year, okay?
Because if there wasn't a same alignment in assessment, then
Right, it's assessing, the construct is the same that's being assessed. Reading comprehension was one of the reporting categories, as well as word analysis is another reporting category. So the same constructs are being assessed, if you will, all right? Now, if we look at this particular one that we've circled, we predicted that the student would score a little bit above 240, and the student scored above or above 255. So the student outperformed the model, right? Okay, so the student performed better than how we predicted. So what might be some reasons for that?
teacher.
The teacher. It could be the teacher. Man, you all know all the right answers already. you know? So it could be the teacher. What else could it be, though? Pardon? Tutoring. Maybe we worked with the child. We have response to intervention. We have really worked on helping that child to learn. Outside tutoring, outside of the school. What are some others? He ate his Wheaties. Man, you know, you're supposed to have protein when you're taking a big test in the morning, right?
High stakes versus not high stakes.
Right. High stakes versus not high stakes. What are some other reasons?
Kid could have had a bad day the year before.
That's right. He had a bad day the year before. And this next year, he's got a new girlfriend and things are going well, right? Right? And so that can impact. I mean, it sounds funny, right? But that does impact how someone performs. Okay? Absolutely. Absolutely. Something's happening at home. Okay? And those things happen. We are aware of that. And that impacts the reliability of the results, right? Okay? How a student can perform. Now, we also have some students who performed about where we predicted, right? So they're right there in the model. So we predicted that they would be about 250, and they are about 250. So right there where we predicted they would be, okay? So we have some that underperform, a majority that perform quite, right there, and then some that outperform the model. All right, so everybody with me on that? So we predicted where they would be, plot them on this graph to see what we found out. Now, so what we did is we clustered these, right? We want to see, do we have groups of students who are outperforming the model in particular teachers' classrooms, right? We want to see, do we have groups of students who are underperforming the model in particular teachers' classrooms? So we just want to see, is that the case? And so what does this look like, folks? Oh, the bell curve. That's what you want to see, right? So what we have are teachers who are kind of in the middle, and this is a teacher effectiveness index. In the middle, whose kids performed about where we predicted they would perform, right? Everybody with me on that? Whoa. I get really excited with the clicker. So on the left side, everybody see that? We've got some clusters of kids where the students underperform the model. Okay? So we have some of those. On the right side, we have clusters of teachers where the kids outperform the model. Okay? So what we're interested in actually are the extremes. Right? That's where you want to study a phenomenon. What's happening here, right? Okay, let me give you a bit more information about the achievement and what happened here with in this particular study. If we took, and this is actually with Dallas Research, this was another study that looked at the same aspect in terms of student achievement. And what they found was that in first grade, if students started out about the same, if they were with a highly effective teacher over 3 years, their percentile increased to almost the 90th percentile, okay? If they were with a less effective teacher, their score decreased down to the 40th percentile in 3 years. So how much is that difference, folks? How much difference is that? It's about a 50 percentile point difference, right? And so what you see here is that if you have a child who is with an ineffective teacher several years in a row, they're really being set up for failure for the rest of their academic career, perhaps, unless they have really an intervention that happens there, okay? Questions or thoughts about this? Questions or thoughts? We saw the same about in reading, and this is in terms of the Dallas research. And by the way, in our research that we did, we had the same types of data that we saw. If they were with the highly effective teachers, those teachers on the right side of the bell curve, the line went up, right? if they were with the ineffective teachers